Yeah, what it do, baby? Whew, big day today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for going to the Vegeta Saiyan Army Facebook group and joining. Thank you, Bandai, for the Vegeta leader. Everyone at Vegeta Saiyan Army, thank you guys so much, man. Every time Bandai makes like a post on their Facebook page, I'm always there. I'm there asking politely, not toxic. Just please make a good Vegeta leader. And I always see you guys there. Like one time they were asking for feedback about the next set, and there were literally like 20 people from Vegeta Saiyan Army asking to make Vegeta great again. And we've certainly had good Vegeta leaders, and I've overperformed, for example, with like the last Universe 7 expansion one, but it never like got above and beyond and was able to, for example, compete with like Green Goku or Invoker, which is so amazing. But this Vegeta leader I actually think is really good. It's attached to Green, which is amazing. A lot of people don't like that it's Vegeta and Babidi, but in my opinion, the Babidi just reminds me of how strong Vegeta is. Like in the story, he was able to like surpass the fact that he was like being possessed, and that's really cool. One of everyone's favorite Vegeta is Majin Vegeta anyway. They're introducing Overlord to the leader, and let's look at the skills here. Overlord means that once per turn, you can place one of your battle cards with Servant at the bottom of the deck, and you draw a card, right? So we haven't seen all the Overlord cards. I'm sure they're gonna make some that are cheaper. That you're going to play turn 1, so you're going to swing with it, draw a card, and put them at the bottom of the deck, correct? Which is great, because later you're going to be able to look at the bottom of the deck and use the skill. Also, auto, when Vegeta attacks on the front side, you can take a life and draw a card, and it gets 5,000 and double strike, which is amazing, and really dangerous if you're using like Bardock Unison, which means they can't really over-combo to protect themselves. The Awakening is fire because you do it at 5 life when you untap 2 energy. I've been attached recently to the Draw 2 because shit's getting more free nowadays in the game, so the energy you may not need it. But in aggressive decks, untapping 2 is kind of cool because it means you get more attacks or you get more plays per turn. On the front side, I'm sorry, on the back Awakened side, you got Babidi and Prince of Destruction Vegeta, Mightiest Majin. And again, I know a lot of people don't like that it's Majin with Vegeta, but the fact that he is an evil wizard Babidi gives him access to a lot of AOD cards and a lot of great cards. So this is actually really good thematically and tactfully for how good the leader can be, because you can attach cards like Android 13 Counterplay coming out in the anniversary box, and you can use still green cards that are great, like Cell's Kamehameha. You can use Ribrianne if you want to go the hand destruction a little bit, but I feel like this deck is really aggressive, really oppressive, and I love that it's the leader doing a lot of the damage. Reminds me of Green Starter Deck Broly or the Green Gohan reboot. Activate main. Actually, I'm going to talk about the second ability before I talk about the first one, because I believe that's going to be the order of operations when you use it. So, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to activate main once per turn. You're going to tap a green, and you may look at the bottom card of your deck, and if it's a Vegeta card with an energy cost of 3 or less and Servant skill, you may play it, right? Otherwise, you return it to the bottom of the deck, but it's going to be a Vegeta because this deck stacks the bottom of the deck. So, the first thing you do, tap an energy, play the Vegeta, and then you're going to use your Overlord, which means after you swing with that Vegeta or use whatever skills he's going to have, you're going to bottom deck it and then draw a card, and then you can activate main, add 1 card from your life, add it to your hand, draw a card, and then give him 5k power and double strike for the turn. You know what, actually? Overlord is not attached to the first activate main. That's cool. So you can actually do the Overlord whenever you want. That's awesome. Again, we haven't seen all of the support. We haven't seen all of the cards. But from what we have, I think this is very strong. I'll be the first to say if a Vegeta leader or a Vegeta like chain is bad. But this seems good because you can do a lot of damage for like 2 energy, 1 energy. The 3-drop Servant they're showing us is a 3-drop 20k double strike. Servant means that it's going to get 10,000 for the turn, but it doesn't stand up in your charge phase. But that doesn't matter because you're never going to use this guy in a charge phase because you're going to bottom deck it to draw a card anyway. So he's really like a 1-drop 20k double strike that's actually 30k. So it's a 1-drop 30k double strike that draws you a card. And then once per turn, when your opponent activates a counter skill, not a counter negate or a counter play, any counter skill, you switch them to active mode. So this is really cool. So you're doing 8 damage between your leader and this, right? And then let's get into the Majin Buu chain, which is really good. Because you've got the 1-drop Babidi, Evil Mind Snatcher, and he searches the deck for your field card and plays it. Or you can look at the top 7 and look for one of your servant Vegetas. So if you're falling behind and you don't have your Vegetas, you can search it. Or you can choose to like just activate the Majin Quickening card. And either are great. I love it when a card has 2 things it can do, you know. So again, the Majin Quickening card is really good. Every time you take a life, you put a card on the top of your deck under the Majin Quickening, and then when you have 4, you can play the 3-drop Majin Buu. So let's get into how you would sequence this, right? Because it's 1 energy to play the Babidi. So you would do this turn 1, and then you play the Majin Quickening, and then every time you take a life, you put a card under the Quickening, right? So for free, once you have 4 cards under the Quickening, they're going to go to the drop area, and he's going to play a 3-drop Majin Buu for free. And he can play it from a drop, so even if these guys get put under the extra card, when you go to the drop area, they can get played, or it can play them from the deck. So you have 2 options, right? You have a Deflect, and you have a Barrier. Both are 20k, both are 3-drop green Majin Buus. The fat one here to your left is going to be the Ghastly Energy. This is the Barrier one. And when your leader card is green, when this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's Unison cards and remove a marker from it. This is very good because the Barrier one, you want to use maybe against like a red deck, right? Because for example, a lot of the red counterplays require 2 markers on the Unison. So when you play the Majin Buu, not only does the Barrier not get hit by, for example, Yamcha, but it also takes away a counter from their Unison. And if they're at 1 counter, I mean, it takes it away. A lot of great defensive cards that you have to deal with as an aggro player depend on a good Unison being on board. So this deck not only has the aggression, but it has a way to deal with these Unisons on board. And I love green having spot removal, but also now they're introducing like Unison removal, and I love that, right? Okay, also leader being Double Strike. You can use a Double Strike on a Unison. I'm sorry, let me check the leader really quick to see if the front needs to attack a leader. When this card attacks, so you can use the Vegeta's front side to swing at a Unison. That's awesome. He doesn't have to swing at leader. How cool is that, man? Okay, so let's go right back. I'm sorry, I'm getting derailed. I'm so excited. The other 3-drop Majin Buu looking for a fight is Deflect, not Barrier. So, for example, you want to use this against like a blue deck, right? Because you don't want him to use like the God-Sealing Trunks. So you have 2 options you can play. This one, though, KOs one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 4 or less. Maybe a blocker, who knows? Maybe something pesky that they need on board to be able to play something else defensively, who knows? But the Majin Buu looking for a fight is really good for that option. And then once you have the 3-drops, again, no energy to use that, right? No energy. You can go into the 3-star ball Parasitic Darkness, right? If you guys remember the starter deck Frieza, it has a similar thing you can do with it. You put a ball under a Frieza and then play like a Xeno Frieza from the deck. This is like that, and it goes in active mode. So you swim with a 3-drop Buu, you put a 3-star ball under it, and then you choose a mono green Majin Buu with an energy cost of 3 in your battle area, place this card under it, and then you choose 1 green Majin Buu Xeno card with energy cost of 5 or less in your deck or hand, play it on top of the chosen card in active mode, and then shuffle your deck if you looked through it. So, okay guys, I love it when cards, remember how I said in Babidi, you can either look for the top 7 or you can just play the extra card. I love it when cards give you options of what you can play depending on how your turn is going, depending on how your hand is, right? So the 3-star ball gives you the option that you can play it from the deck, you can play it from the hand. I like the option of playing the 3-drop with Deflect or the 3-drop with Barrier. I like having, because when you plan your turn, you want to plan your whole turn, right? But you can't just do it. You have to plan B, plan A, plan C. You have to have different avenues of approach that you can use depending on your opponent. It's not good enough to know your deck. You have to know your opponent's deck. I'm playing against blue. What does blue have? I'm playing against Topo. What does Topo have? What can Topo do, right? And Topo seems like a bad matchup on his deck, because this deck plays a lot of cards in the same turn. However, the leader is the kind of motherfucker that can swing for a double strike at a unison, and it can take out unisons, right? So maybe I want to play against Topo a certain way where I swing with leader first to take out the unison, right? This deck gives you certain different ways to aggress, to attack, certain ways to KO, to remove markers. I like it when leaders aren't so linear that you have to follow a simple way. And if people know how you play, then they know how to beat you. This deck can actually pivot. Okay, once you play the 5-drop, again, for free, this guy has Deflect, which I love Deflect. If your leader card is green, and you choose one of your unison cards and remove a marker from it, when this card is played, you choose up to one of your opponent's unison cards and remove a marker from it. So this is the second marker we fucking removed from our opponent's unison. Then your opponent chooses one card from her hand and one of their battle cards and places them in the drop area. This gets around cards that cannot be KO'd, like the red Gogeta cards coming out, right? This is great because it's like a remote Serious Bomb. Like, this is sweet. And then, again, you're not swinging with this guy, because unless I'm mistaken, the 7-drop comes in at the same position that Majin Buu is. So, but the 7-drop is busted because he is double strike, dual attack for 1 energy, is the X evolve over the 5-drop. Auto, when this card is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill, play up to 1 green Majin Buu card with an energy cost of 3 from your drop area, which is gonna be the 3-drop Buu that you dropped, remember? And then you can add your Dragon Ball back to your hand from the drop area. So just like Sin Shenron, kind of, right? When he gets removed, you plus in a way. You draw one by getting your ball back to your hand. And the ball's cool because you can actually, it's a 5k combo at the same time. And it's not dead in your hand. And then you play the 3-drop. So you can go right into it again. It's so free. So you're doing 2 damage with leader, 2 damage with servant, 4 damage with the 7-drop, theoretically, 1 damage with the 3-drop Buu, right? So that right there is 9 damage on a turn, right? Okay, now, one thing I want to say about the 5-drop is it removes a marker from your card. So you want to sequence the turn in a way that... A good play, by the way, is... I've been watching people top with Green Goku online playing the Cooler Unison. You -3 the Bardock, triple attack, and then play the Cooler for 4. And then, swing with all the tokens. So you would want to sequence the turn in a way that, like, you use your Unison first. For example, if it is Bardock, you swing 3 times, and then you play the 5-drop to take away a Unison from it. And then you play your new Unison if you'd like. So the 9 life you can potentially deal. I mean, you can still use your energy, homie. Like, you can still go into the Dodoria for the 1-drop swing for 15k double strike. If you have the Bardock on board. Again, you're denying their combo skill, their combos. You can use the Migra Unison. I wonder, please tell me what you guys think about the Migra Unison in this deck, because when you add a card from your life with the Migra Unison, I think you do get the skill of putting the top card in your deck under it, so the Migra might actually be kind of busted here. The Migra is already busted, by the way, the 1-drop, because you can, like, KO, like, a 3-drop Invoker Vegeta with it on the -3, or the +1, he's a 15k 1-drop. So the Migra might be a really good way to speed up this deck's process. Just off the top of my head, what do you guys think about the deck, man? What do you guys think we can use? Do you guys think that this deck could pivot into like a semi-pseudo hand destruction by running Ribrianne, by running Cells Kamehameha? I might run Toa for Overwhelm. I might need the drop area, who knows? What do you guys think? What would you run in a deck? Again, obviously, we haven't seen all the support. We haven't even seen the green reveals. This is just a strategy page. But once those come out, we'll see what it does. I don't like saying that a deck is unplayable or tier 0 unless I test it. But in theory, just looking at it, it's really good, right? Also, even after I test something, I don't like saying that it's tier 0 or not broken, because a really talented player can take like a tier 2, tier 1.5 deck and like clap cheeks with it. We've seen it with really good players going into major local events or major events and do really good with it, so we can't underestimate. I would rather, if I had to choose between playing, like, what's the best deck in a game right now? Let's say it's Invoker. I think it's Vegix and Invoker. Let's say it's Invoker, right? I would rather play someone who has never played Invoker or played it twice. I would rather play the Invoker guy that hasn't played Invoker much than play like a guy that's played Topo his whole life. Practice makes perfect, you know. I'm gonna play this deck a lot. I guarantee you, I'm gonna be the person who plays this deck the most. I'm gonna start playing him now and on tap. I know that deck's not complete, but I do want to start getting the feeling, the ins and outs of the deck, how it works. I'm just gonna build the Boo Chain and put good green stuff, and then when the rest of the deck is revealed, I'll obviously make it better. But I'm just gonna test it just to know, just to get used to it, you know. I'm telling you, this deck is cool. It's definitely cool. I'm not gonna say it's tier 0. I hate it when like AOD comes out, for example, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's gonna be the greatest deck of all time," or "It's completely unplayable and it's trash." I'm gonna test it. I'll let you guys know legitimately how I do. If you guys see me on OnTap, and my name is over 9,000 there. Sometimes that's my brother or friends that are using the account, but if it's someone playing a Vegeta leader, it's probably me. If you see me there, I'm probably gonna be playing this leader. Let me know. Let's help each other out. If you're in a Facebook group for Vegeta Saiyan Army and you're watching this, go to the comment section. Discuss. Because I get most of my ideas from you guys. You guys are, I'm not just saying that to get comments. Discuss on any group. I want to hear what you guys are saying, because you guys a lot of times have like sick ideas. What are you playing with this? What is your plan with this leader? What do you think the leader's bad and why? We need feedback. You know, you can't just like close your eyes and like pretend my deck is the best. I don't want to hear constructive criticism. Once you know the weakness of a deck, you can fix it. Once you know the bad matchups, that's what you want to play against, so you can have a way to go against it, right? We also have a Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta leader coming out. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge when it gets there. I'm gonna build this guy. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Really, I mean it. Thank you, everyone at Vegeta Saiyan Army. You guys are rocking, man. We did this. I'm not gonna say like we did this, but like we literally did ask for this, and then we got it like 2 months later. And we know Bandai listens, bro. You hate to see it. Like, this is literally our leader. This is our shit. I'm playing this. Are you guys playing it? Are you guys playing something else? I'm really happy for you guys. I know a lot of people wanted green Gotenks. I know a lot of people love Broly. I'm really happy for you guys. I'm really happy for the Gogeta people. Red Gogeta deck is really awesome. We'll see what the rest of the shit comes out. I know there's like a Gohan Piccolo deck coming out. Happy for you Gohan fans. I love all of y'all. Thank you, Bandai. Thank you, Dragon Ball community. Thank you for watching. Love you guys. Comment, what do you guys think about this deck? Literally, what do you think about it? What do you think I should do? What do you think you should do? I'll see you guys next time.